What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Another absolutely crazy week. I mean, I know I say it every week, but I think this week has been, I think it's been the most true so far. Yeah, Elon Musk, Donald Trump going at it. Honestly, I don't know if you've seen it, but uh, when he resigned from Doge, he had a black eye in the Oval Office. I'm honestly thinking he just got sucker punched by one of the guards or something. I think they've been fighting for longer than we know, but yeah, what an absolute crazy week. Yeah, I'll start up the stream. I'll start sharing my screen. Uh, Wait, this might actually be the easiest way to do that. But yeah, as I said, absolutely crazy week again. Uh, let's just start with the basic. Let's just start at CoinMarketCap. Yeah, we are neutral, but almost into that fearful territory. If you've seen my Wednesday stream or last Friday's stream, we were in basically almost extreme greed. But that's how fast crypto, not just crypto, but any market is moving right now. Uh, yeah, I'm looking like I'm waiting for us to dip down a little bit further till we reach that fearful territory to spot some more buys. Bitcoin itself is also up a little bit today, so not really buying time for me. I did hit one of my limit orders, which I posted earlier. So all in all, that's quite all right, but not on all the altcoins, all the extra, yeah, DCA moments I'm looking for. Uh, Other than that, I think the market itself, crypto market itself, has been, I suppose, less exciting as what's happening in the world right now. Um, last Wednesday I was talking about the de-dollarization agenda. I still think that is a very big uh, item. I think it's going to keep growing. I think it's going to keep appearing, and I mean, I've used a lot of news articles on this already. Yeah, so here we see my limit order hit, and or at least I posted it around that place, but this is obviously just my trading view chart, but we hit it and we basically bounced off this little support area. So yeah, Bitcoin bounced. Will it continue going up? I mean, I think as CoinMarketCap is saying, I think the market is fearful right now. I think it will get a lot more fearful very quickly. Um, what that was a bit of a black screen for 1 second. But I think it's going to become a lot more fearful very quickly. Elon Musk says President Trump's tariff will cause a recession in the second half of this year. This is exactly what I've been saying. I think this is going to happen. Uh, he also thinks President Trump should be impeached with JD Vance replacing him. I don't really know about JD Vance replacing him because I think I'm not a fan of JD Vance. Let's keep it at that. But I do think that Trump is in way over his head right now. And if the bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase. I mean, this is a clear case of intimidation. But if you're short, if you have a shortage of money, your debt is growing exponentially. Why are you giving tax cuts? Why are you giving the biggest tax cut ever if you need more money, if you need more cash in the bank? Because America is well on its way to going bankrupt. Why are you spending more or gathering less money and saying that helps, that fixes it? That it's the exact opposite. And I think America was long overdue for a tax increase. And I think you should get rid of all your tariffs and then try to fix it with tax and then tax the rich. That's something he doesn't want to do because he falls into that category as well as his family and his friends and his business partners. But yeah, the fight has gone very public. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Honestly, I think we already knew this. I think we sort of already knew this. I mean, if he has more info or intel and that gets shared and possibly video evidence or something like that gets leaked, I mean, imagine the absolute crap storm that will unleash into the world. I mean, oh, I'm a little lost for words actually. Hmm. President Trump says he asked Elon Musk to leave and he just went crazy. I mean, that's I think that something like that happened definitely. I think they went absolutely bonkers against each other. I do think this is true as well. Like Elon Musk, without him, he would have lost the election. Um, but yeah, I like using Watcher Guru because I think they're pretty much on top of everything. But I mean, absolute craziness. Tesla down 14% almost immediately again. I think the blood is still coming for Tesla. I think Tesla is going to drop a lot more than this. Tesla wasn't a very overhyped, overpriced stock anyway. But with all this happening, I think it's going to go increasingly bad. I just checked Elon Musk's Twitter, and I think he's cleared it. Like all the posts he made about Trump are all gone. But he did also post, I read it, that Donald Trump said they should start canceling the government contracts Tesla has and revoke the EV bill. And alongside with that, Elon Musk replied, "All right, fine, we're going to decommission all the Dragon X space rockets straight away." And if he does that, like the International Space Station and astronauts and supply missions, all that would be completely bleeped. That would have no way to go back up to space because the American government itself does not have any rockets anymore. They canceled the space shuttle program, so they won't be able to resupply astronauts. They won't be able to bring them home again. So they might have to stay up there for quite a while. I think Elon Musk is crazy enough to actually just pull the plug on that. But I also think Donald Trump is crazy enough to force him to do it. So absolute craziness. I keep finding myself lost for words. Trump considers getting rid of his Tesla. Yeah, who saw that coming? President Trump says Federal Reserve is a 100 basis point interest cut. I mean, come on. That's not going to happen. If he would, that would crash the economy. That would instantly crash the economy again. I mean, I think we should be glad that there is some counter noise to Donald Trump to keep him in check somewhat. But yeah, I'm 100% positive that a recession is coming to America, and this confirms it for me. Congressman Thomas Massie introduces bill to audit U.S. gold reserves. I mean, if you start if they do this, and like, I think we all kind of know how the world works. I think corruption is never been as eminent as modern times. I think there's corruption in every single level of society. And if they audit these gold reserves and they come up short, and yesterday or Wednesday, I was comparing the American economy to FTX, the crash crypto exchange. And I think that this is almost exactly what happened to FTX. They started being called on their loans, and then they would have to show the assets that they claimed to have, which was in their own token, which had no backed assets. And it completely crashed the crypto exchange. The billions were lost. But if they do this with the American government, if they do this with gold, and they come up short, and if they do come up short, like even a percent short would be billions, or if not tens of billions of dollars. If this happens, I mean, imagine the absolute fallout. I think but there's like, from all kinds of governments across the world, gold is stored in America. So even in the European Union, they were already talking about moving away the gold reserves from America because of all the tariffs, the trade war, etc. They were talking about recalling the gold and started storing it back in the European countries. So if they call America on what is basically a loan on their stored gold, and they audit it and they come up short, then it's going to cause a bank run. But then on gold reserves is going to, cause a massive tidal wave, I think, across all economies. I think we're on the edge of some very big news. I also just uploaded a short video about this on my own YouTube channel. If you've not already, please like, subscribe, etc. You know the drill. But yeah, you can watch that. I talked about a lot of this stuff as well. It's a very short video, but absolute craziness. And I've been following it this week. At first, I thought, oh, man, it's gonna fizzle down, but I mean, if this bill is about a 68% tax increase and things were far worse than that, I didn't create this mess. He sort of did. His last term, roughly 6 years ago now, I think. No, 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Don't really quote me on that, but roughly 5 years ago, and of course that 4-year term, he was in control, and throughout his term, the debt skyrocketed even higher, and now he's proposing to raise it even further. If you look at this, it's absolutely mind-boggling numbers. I think it's a very interesting chart. I tend not to look at it too long because you get it's like ants moving across the screen. That's how fast and how big this is moving. Look at the defense spending. Defense, Social Security, and Medicare. And the interest on that debt. The interest on that debt alone. And the credit card debt. I mean, absolutely mind-boggling numbers. Yeah, but as I said, I've said it 1,000 times, I suppose. I think we're headed for a recession. I think we were long overdue for a recession. I think we need to, like, I personally, I've been going into defense mode. Like, I've stopped basically leverage trading for the foreseeable future. I've moved a lot of my assets either into some spot crypto, but also a lot of cash on the side. I've not really sold some stocks, but I've stopped buying stocks, but I did deposit more cash in it to get some interest on the balance. But even on that, my crypto on my stock exchange, the money is insured. So if it does crash, I do get that money back. Saving some more money just on a regular bank account, because I think it's going to become very, I think it's going to have ripple effects across the globe. It could go slow, it could go fast. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure about what will happen, but with the de-dollarization, with all the crazy news happening now almost daily, with Trump's tariffs coming more and more into effect, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that more fear in markets is going to cause more panic in markets. And I think that's also the reason why we're not getting any altcoin seasons. We're not getting any real altcoin momentum. We're not getting, I mean, yeah, we're getting Bitcoin momentum, but I think it's because Bitcoin is hedging. I think Bitcoin is hedging itself against the dollar, against the decline of the dollar. And we've seen it already. Like the euro and the won or yen are rising against the dollar. The dollar is declining in value. Basic bonds, US bonds, US savings, everything's on the decline right now. While in the past, actually, the euro was a lot weaker, but right now it seems to be the opposite. And on top of that, Trump pissed off nearly every country in the world by imposing tariffs on them. So I think they're going to need aid very soon. And I think it's going to come at a cost, as Trump himself is exactly doing. If he sits out his term, if more news comes out, it's mind-boggling. It's changing so fast. This is another example of the de-dollarization agenda. I talked about this Wednesday as well. Sorry about that, but I talked about this Wednesday as well. And basically, these are all the BRICS countries. And obviously, this is America, Canada, etc. But These are all the BRICS countries, and the BRICS countries are looking at avoiding the dollar altogether, doing all their global trade in either the yuan or maybe the euro or maybe gold, maybe Bitcoin. And I think it's going to be, I think we're going to see a mix of those. And I think Bitcoin is definitely here to stay. Uh, the same with JP Morgan now to accept Bitcoin and crypto ETFs as collateral for loans. Now, what do rich people do? They don't sell their stocks, they don't sell their crypto, they loan against it. And then obviously they do pay the interest, but their aim is loaning against it to make more profit than the interest. So they loan $1 million, they loan it at against maybe 3, 4, 5%, 10%, who cares? Their aim is to make 20, 30, 40% on that money. And they do this, they rinse and repeat this continuously. And now all of them are doing this and possibly buying more Bitcoin, more gold, more stocks. But what they're not doing is buying more dollars, gaining more dollars, loaning in dollars, because they're not loaning against USD. No, they're using Bitcoin as collateral, or crypto and other ETFs. They're using that as collateral. I think this is a very clear-cut sign that, as this article says, I think we've seen the peak. I've seen peak investments in US assets. This is an Australian pension company. This is like, it's not even in the BRICS countries, but I think the BRICS countries altogether are a very big trade alliance. Even though there's a lot of smaller third world countries in there, they do a lot of trade on the global scale. So even, I don't know, like soybeans, cows, meat, whatever, if they all other countries still trade with the BRICS countries, even if America refuses to trade with them, they're going to do trade with others. And I think this is going to be instrumental in the decline of the value of the dollar. I don't think the dollar will cease to exist, but I think we've seen, at least for the short-term future, short to long term, we've seen the peak of the US dollar. I could be wrong on this. A lot of my stocks are valuated in dollars, so I'm not 100% protected against that. But my aim is, I will keep buying it just to hedge against it, because I have time. I don't want to cash out maybe in 20 or 30 years. So I've said it before. Hopefully, I'm going to live longer than Donald Trump and the effects of his administration. So maybe in 10 years, when everything bounces back, when America does find a way back on top, that I gain the benefit of now investing in a declining market, which America basically is right now. And yeah, I'm like I said, this is just how I view it, my opinion of this. But I think we're in a very decisive economy, a very decisive moment in history. I think it will be. And whenever have we seen allegations like this fly across each other from someone who a month ago was working with Trump in the Oval Office? I think this is completely crazy. I think this was not on my bingo card. And by the way, if anyone has any question, wants to talk about a coin, feel free to leave a comment or type a comment. I'd be eager to interact, to talk, to speak. Maybe your own opinion on this. Maybe you think I'm 100% wrong. I could be, but I think the writing is on the wall right now. So yeah, they added more jobs, but that was after they fired a bunch of people. So I think it's positive that they have more jobs, but yeah, if after you fire several thousands of people, then it's going to be higher than you. Of course, it's going to be higher if people find new jobs, which they most likely did, because they were quite educated people in general. And this is also very positive for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's potential as a store of value. That is why I think Bitcoin is valuable, period. The network itself is outdated. The use case of it is basically zero. Yeah, Bitcoin itself as a blockchain is outdated. It's ancient. But as a store of value, yeah, I think it holds its merits. And obviously, we saw this because the crypto market in general is more fearful. We saw liquidations, but I mean, when have we not? I think for now, crypto will still be quite volatile, but I think we're heading into bigger and bigger territory where a Bitcoin crash will be just a few percent, if that. I think I've said it last Wednesday as well. I think it will become more and more either like gold or I don't know, maybe actually start acting like a proper financial market. I mean, it's still a long ways off, but let's say if you've heard about forex trading, uh, people need to use 500x, 1000x leverage on that just to have a small movement of their trade, because otherwise, with a 1-to-1 ratio, you wouldn't even be able to buy one lot, one section uh, of that fund without investing hundreds of thousands of dollars. But yeah, if we see that for Bitcoin, obviously it's a long ways off because the market cap is relatively small still. Bitcoin's market cap is tiny compared to the financial markets, but I think we could be headed in that direction, in that territory. It's too bad Musk deleted all his tweets. He probably received a phone call which advised him to do it, to put it lightly. He doesn't know if he'll continue to have a great relationship with Elon Musk. Shocker. I think that bridge has been burned, and I honestly I wouldn't put it against him that I wouldn't put it against Elon to just move out of the America, just get rid of America altogether, because I don't think he cares that much. I mean, obviously it's a very extreme step. I don't see that happening now on the brink, but he doesn't care. Yeah, crazy. But that is basically what I wanted to. Crypto stable. I think this will also cause a massive influx of basically of new money, which is what we need. We need more new funds into. We need more new funds into the crypto market in general. Like the crypto market itself is just, I won't say stagnant, but it's a lot of rinse repeating, like buying in, cashing out, buying in, cashing out. We need a massive influx of new money, and I think that will also be the reason why we will see an altcoin market. An altcoin market will happen because of new money, new people looking for new coins, new projects. I think this is a good thing, though, but calls on Congress to propose a new spending bill that doesn't grow the deficit, because the deficit is big. It's very big. But yeah, it's. I think the next few weeks are going to be very, very exciting, very, very volatile. If I mean, they were already. I think they were volatile already, but I mean, it's been a week. Let's say let's summarize it like that. My crypto bubbles are a little lagging today. AVAX might actually. What is AVAX on the month? On the month, it's not too bad. It's kind of missed that dip. I think AVAX. I'm definitely keeping my eye on AVAX. I mean, it's down quite a lot on the year, but I think the project itself is pretty good. Oh, hey, Panic. How do you mean retail? Like as in retail investors? What is Caspa at? Caspa is down. down, down, down. But I think Caspa is right on my sweet spot for a good altcoin. It's actually it climbed 3 places, but maybe because the others dropped a little bit as well. But Caspa and AVAX is what I'm focusing on. Damn. Oh, so retail investors, yeah. I think retail investors, like, I think if we play this smart, if we look, if we keep our eye on the price, basically, if we keep buying these dips, I think there's gonna, if we get a recession, yeah, a lot of people will get wrecked. People who don't have a stable base, who don't have the know-how we do, basically, the clearance of mind to make sure you have some cash saved on the side. People living paycheck to paycheck will be hit the most. But if we make sure that, like, we have our jobs, we have our base, we have our solid foundation, and we have cash on the side to be able to buy on the times when the whole market will be crashing, fearful. Like, I think it's going to be game changing. Like, if you manage to buy the absolute bottom of a recession, imagine the gains you can make on the few years after that. Like, ever since 2008, the last big crisis, it's been up, only up every year, and it's been up a lot. Like, the last 5 years, the American stock market did 20% plus per year on year. So 20% on 20% on 20% on 20%. And that's only the last 5 years. I mean, imagine being able to time the next big crisis. And, like, everyone's always asking, like, is this the time to buy? Is this the time to buy? And everyone says nobody knows. Nobody knows for sure. DCA in, portion, compartmentalize. Don't YOLO in everything on one go. I always say that, but I always believe that is true. But if you manage to buy an absolute bottom of a market on a big crash like that, regardless if it's the stock market, crypto market, whatever, I think that'll be a life-changing moment. I think if you manage to get in on that price, of course it needs to be a staying asset. Like, don't buy loose stocks, don't buy meme coins or whatever crap on that moment. No, you need to buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, I don't know, buy Tesla, or, well, Tesla's a separate stock, I shouldn't say that, but buy the S&P 500. Get in on the S&P 500. No reason not to do that. I shouldn't say that, but I think, to me personally, that's what I'm thinking, and I am heavily invested into the S&P 500, either directly or through ETFs that follow it, which pay a little bit more cash dividend. Yeah, I've been speed talking for almost 30 minutes, guys. If you do you have any final questions or remarks or comments, is what I wanted to say. It's been a bit of a hectic week for me, for a lot of people apparently. Altcoin season, nowhere near altcoin season. That's why I didn't name it, but yeah, Bitcoin's going to be the show stealer for the foreseeable future. So it's a bit of a... I'll have a look at TIA. I'm just wondering, like, will we bounce off of this line on the fear and greed, or will we completely shift into that fear territory? I think if we do shift into that fearful territory, like, this is buying time again. I'll probably put some more into my DCA moments at that time. But yeah, let's look at TIA. Oh, sorry about that. There. Damn. Do I have the correct one? Is that... Damn. Actually, don't know too much about Tia. Celestia. Tia. Yeah, that's the one. Damn, it is down a lot, man. Shitcoin's been on a downtrend for over 6 minutes. Let's grab that website. I mean, I honestly don't really know enough about this project, but I do know there is a lot of blockchains projects which do something similar, like enable other projects to build. And you want to know why they do this? Because facilitating other people's to build on your network for you and getting paid for it is a lot easier than actually building something yourself. So 16 to 17 months nonstop going down. Yeah, it's rough. The only positive I see is that it's bled so much that if it's gonna go back up, this is probably very close to the bottom. Obviously, it's not financial advice, but if it's something has been bled that dry, a lot of the people that are still in it are basically in it to win it, in it to hold it into eternity. So yeah, that could be it. So if, like I said, I don't know enough about the project, but if the team is legit, if they're gonna start pumping out projects or having some big ass partnerships that are going to build on their network, I mean, then maybe, yeah, it could do very well, but it'll require new investors for that. It'll need money, people buying their token. And right now, I think there isn't a reason to buy the token, but that could happen. So if you're already in it and you're basically at a break even or at a price where you don't think it's worth selling, then yeah, you could hold it. But like I said, I don't really know enough about it. I could be wrong about it, but yeah, it's yeah. And I think almost everyone thinks the same on this project. But like, I think the time where, like in the beginning when I got into crypto, you heard a lot about good news from projects, from this project is building this is building that is doing this, that is doing this. And a lot of those projects are still in the top 20, 30 crypto coins, are still very high. Obviously, not everything is at its absolute all-time high, but a lot of them did very well and are still growing and building across these times. Obviously, a lot of them failed, but usually the ones that made it, I know a little bit about. And yeah, Celestia is number 59. So yeah, I mean, it's not the absolute bottom, but I think I heard about it in the past, but I'm not sure what. It is 1.9 exactly as we speak currently. It's 99. All right. It's 1.99. All right. I actually have somewhere to go in a little bit because yeah, as I said, it's absolute crazy, super busy. I did just upload another video. If you feel like watching it, it's also about the craziness that is this week, and I think it'll go into next week, possibly the weekend. And maybe we will see Elon Musk deported before the end of next week. That will definitely warrant another video, which I will, well, I won't say happily, but which I will make, of course. But yeah, it's crazy, guys. Other than that, I'd say have a great weekend. Don't worry about the U.S. economy too much, I suppose. But yeah, look at the opportunities it's going to grant us, and I'm gonna close out on that one. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you next week, both Wednesday and Friday. And if you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one.